whiskey enthusiasts, Swati and Vinayak from the Dram Club.
And today we are stepping into the world of luxury, heritage and unparalleled craftsmanship with the Dalmore 12-year-old. One cannot mention the Dalmore without acknowledging its emblematic stag, a symbol of the brand's rich legacy.
The Dalmore 12-year-old is bottled at an ABV of 40%. It is matured in ex-bourbon and ex-sherry casks.
The Dalmore is one of the most acclaimed luxury whiskey brands in the world, and today we are going to put the Dalmore 12-year-old to a test.
So without any further ado, Vinayak, let's get started with the tasting.
So last year when I was at the distillery,
Of course.
so the distillery was shut, and I was the first person to sign on the visitor notebook. Yeah, in almost 2 years
After the pandemic.
Yeah. Remember 2019 when we were in Scotland? That time also the Dalmore distillery was under renovation.
Yes.
So it was renovation for a while, under renovation for a while, and then pandemic. So almost for 2 years they had no one, and I was the first person to sign on the visitor notebook in over 2 years.
Now that you've done that,
Cheers to that.
cheers.
What do you think about the color?
It's copperish. There are a lot of copper hues.
Mahogany?
Tinge of gold, but
I think I would call it mahogany. Yeah, but again it's amberish, copperish.
yeah.
What do you get on the nose?
I'm getting lots of honey. There's some spice, but I'm getting vanilla.
I'm getting some citrus zest, some nutmeg,
Okay.
and some coffee, but not like a intense espresso, more like a mocha sort of a thing.
Okay. Let's taste.
Nuts, chocolates, cinnamon, plums.
It's oily as compared to the nose. Honey, I'm getting on the palate also, but I'm getting a lot of spices. Like the spice is more pronounced for me on the palate. Vanilla, and there is hints of chocolate that I'm getting. It does have some citrus notes. I'm also getting, like, right towards the end, a little bit of mint kind of a note,
Okay.
which I find very interesting.
So I think the citrus notes
Yeah.
could be attributed to the maturation in oloroso sherry.
Yeah. I think that's where the chocolate notes are also
Because
coming
I am
from.
now, like, the chocolate is definitely there on the palate. It has that richness to it, which typically comes from a good sherry cask.
The finish on this whiskey is, I think, really impressive. It's very long, it's intense, lots of spice, and there are a lot of other flavor notes that I can sense in my mouth. It's not just very unidimensional. So I think for a 12-year-old at 40% ABV, it's offering a lot of complexity on the finish.
So for me, the finish is a bit desserty. I definitely get those chocolate notes, but more of milk chocolate. And I'm getting some vanilla and cinnamon coming through in the finish as well. So it's a very desserty sort of a finish that the whiskey has, and I would rate the finish about medium.
Okay.
It's an interesting whiskey.
Yeah.
For someone who likes or wants to try whiskey that have been finished or matured in sherry barrels or sherry casks, I think Dalmore 12 is a great way to get started.
Absolutely. And I think it's also a good whiskey to pair with desserts. Something like a chocolate tart or a dark chocolate mousse. It would go really well with it. So I think it's a very, very interesting whiskey, personally for me.
So that was our quick review of the Dalmore 12-year-old. Let us know in the comments below your impressions of the whiskey.